Hi, welcome to Rep Sports. Sorry, I was on mute. You're joining us for the post show India versus Australia. A disappointment once again. Can't say that it's too surprising here, but a lot of questions have to be answered. A lot of questions will be asked as well. I've got Boryada and Snehashi joining. Trisha will join later on as well. Where do we start? Boryada, honestly, this was somewhere we can say it was expected. It does hurt, but it seems to reoccur again and again and again. There's not a solution for this. We tend to reach close, not able to cross the line. Australia seemed better in all departments: fielding, batting, bowling. At one stage, I believe that we were in the game. We got back in the game, but again, due to the fall of wickets, we somehow managed to lose it at the very end. Where do we start, Boryada? What are your thoughts on this game? Where have we gone wrong? Do we have to start taking strong decisions, and does that mean changing of the captain?
Very pertinently asked, very pertinently asked. Where do we start? Firstly, let us be clear. This was not a 150 wicket. This was a 130 wicket. If you see the way India captain, Harmanpreet Singh Kaur captain, and the way she changed her bowling, it was dismal. So first question is captaincy, because you conceded at least 20 runs more than what was par on that wicket. Number one. Number two, you've done that. Now there is something called common sense. In the last over, if there was one person capable of winning that game, it was the captain. Now she takes a single and gets the number 9 batter on strike. And the number 9 batter gets out, and another ball is wasted. Another single taken, and the number 10 batter gets on strike. Now, will Shriyanka Patil ever hit you two sixes? Will Radha Yadav ever, in remote possibility, ever hit you two sixes? There is something called common sense, which was lacking. Now, let's take player by player. I know Snehashish has joined us, but give me 1 minute. When will Smriti Mandhana deliver in a big game? Tell me.
Hmm.
Smriti Mandhana is supposedly the best batter in the side. When will Smriti Mandhana play in a big game and deliver? Commonwealth Games final, 6. Australia, India versus Australia, South Africa T20 World Cup semi-final, 2.
Yeah.
Today, another failure. When will she deliver? Deepti Sharma. Deepti Sharma has absolutely no shots in the offside. Continuously between that arc of mid-wicket, square leg, and behind. 29 balls, 25 balls, 29 runs when the asking rate is touching 9 and the pressure is falling on the captain. Intent, sense, plan, strategy, something, fielding. Look at Indian fielding and look at that fielding that got Richa Ghosh run out. And you know it all. You know it all. India was never in the game, Isha. Never. In a T20 low scoring contest, 10 runs are a lot of runs. That is the truth. So let us not hide behind the 9-run cushion and let us call spade a spade. And the
Hmm.
truth is, the campaign ends in disaster.
Hmm.
Pakistan match, below par, rubbish. New Zealand match, below par, rubbish. Australia match, below par again, especially in the bowling and fielding and captaincy departments. Unfortunately, very, very poor cup campaign.
Yeah, yes. Neashish, you're outside the venue. I can see the disappointment as well. I'm sure the fans also must be gutted. But like Boryada mentioned here, it's the case of lack of application. Even when it came to that last ball, we need two sixes. You've been taught since school cricket or college cricket that the best batter has to take strike. You can't give it to someone who can't possibly hit two sixes. So is this just simply the case of lack of application, like Boryada mentioned? At times a lot of these batters don't seem to be playing according to the game, and the same goes to the bowling department here. So tell us first of all the atmosphere outside the venue. What have you seen from the fans? Are they disappointed? How disappointed they are, and what are your thoughts as well?
Yeah, see, from fans' perspective, I think they were hopeful till the last over. I think in the last over we needed around 14 or 15 runs maybe in the last over. So fans were hopeful. They were thinking that Harmanpreet Kaur would have managed to score those runs and India would have won this game because we all knew that 150 plus chasing on this track it will be very difficult and you cannot win this game early. So if you manage to win this game, from against Australia, it will be a huge, huge victory. For the longest of the year coming years. So I think fans are hopeful, but ultimately, 4 wickets came fail or run out, three run outs and 1 wicket. Fans are living now. They are disappointed, but as Buryada said that there are many questions to answer, especially in the first innings. I will say India lost the game only in the first innings only because,
Hmm.
as Buryada mentioned, that it was not a 150 plus wicket. You should have restricted Australia under 130, 135
Yes.
maybe. I think it was that, and the fielding was sloppy against. I know that on statistical basis, India might be the most effective team when it comes to catching, but the main problem is with the ground fielding. It is very sloppy. If you see some ground fielding of Australia, I think those made those small differences between a top team like Australia and other teams like India. I think the way though, if you see in the first 10 overs, the way Australian fielders were throwing their bodies for every single run, it was like they are defending 100 runs, not 150 runs. So I think that's the attitude, that's the mentality you carry when you are a champion side. I think India lacked that mentality also, and I think in the batting aspect, I will say that we are always chasing the game. We're not at any stage that we were at that stage that okay, we are now have managed the net run rate and we can go for the target now. We're not at that stage anyway. We're always chasing the game. There was some moment where we were thinking that okay, the chase might be on. Harmanpreet Kaur, Dipti Sharma, the way those two batted,
Yes.
but ultimately the match was lost only in the first innings only. The way Harmanpreet Kaur captained and changed her bowlers, I think it was very disappointing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned fielding as well because we keep saying fielding, fielding, fielding. But when is the improvement really going to come? If it doesn't come in matches like this, then what do we expect? So I genuinely feel I think we lost 15 to 20 runs just in the field, which we could have possibly saved, and this whole match could have been a different scenario. We've got Trisha joining us for the show as well. Trisha, I'll just bring you to pace of what we discussed up till now. First of all, poor fielding. Smriti Mandhana's incapability to perform in big matches, and just this whole team lacking application. When you're in the game, when you need two sixes of the last two deliveries, you wouldn't give the strike to a batter who possibly can't do it. So obviously, I know you're disappointed as well. Tell us about what you're feeling, and we'll gradually discuss on all these following points as well.
Look, I think I know we are not going to. There are a lot of people who are not going to talk about the captain's innings because
Hmm.
in the scoreboard it shows 54. But that running. Sorry, what? Boryada,
I
you
think
can't
there's
hear
an
me?
issue with Trisha's audio. Can you hear her clearly,
I
Trisha?
can, yes.
Okay, okay.
Um, yeah, so as I was saying, I think first of all, the captaincy was rubbish in the first innings. You were giving them pace when they actually wanted it. Uh, and what are your strengths? For God's sake, your strengths, is spinners. You're giving them pacers, feeding them pacers. Fielding, you're talking about fielding. I'm not even going into that. Look at the field placements for Ellis Perry when she came out to bat. She always takes a little time when she comes out to bat. Where are your players putting in the pressure? You're not putting in any pressure to the Australian
Hmm.
batters. I'm sorry, but Australian batters have batted badly. This could have been 170, 180, if not close to 200. And the pitch is slow, low. That's why we were saved. And then comes to the second innings. Smriti, rubbish. Shafali, I will start the innings, but it's not my responsibility to continue it and finish the
Yeah.
match. Harman, I get my 50, it's done. Doesn't work. You knew that is the time you needed Richa. Are you telling me that after playing so many dot balls, you couldn't have let Richa play that dot ball? You needed to run that. Who was your power hitter after that? How were you going to reach those runs? What was the planning? And you are the captain of the team. I
Hmm.
think there's no application. I don't see any planning also. And why
Yeah.
blame the captain alone? What is the coach doing? Every single time a coach is changed, Boryada, we suddenly expect that there is something that will change. Nothing changes. Nothing.
Yeah, the frustration is evident here. And Borata, we got a super chat as well. We'll just take that. Ayush Jindal is saying, Buryada, we were never a contender for the World Cup. Our girls have poor fielding, poor fitness, not converting ones into twos. Yes, that's a big point, actually. We support our team, but better effort needed. I noticed the Australian team really running hard between the wickets, and that's another point I really feel made the difference. Trisha Boryada, if you realized, the Australian girls are running extremely hard till the very end. Pushing
I
for
had
ones
said
and
this in
twos,
the pre-show.
converting.
I had said this in the pre-show. You remember
Yeah.
that the fours and sixes won't be the problem. The difference between the two teams will be the running between the wickets and fielding. Exactly what happened. Absolutely what happened.
Yeah.
Ishan, if I have to answer that, I will again start with two words, and that is common sense. When a Radha Yadav picks up a wicket, you bowl Arundhati Reddy and Pooja Vastakar from both ends for four continuous overs. Complete lack of common sense. You, I mean, the last over I can't digest. Were you actually trying to tell us that you expected your number 9 and number 10 to hit two sixes? If you are there, you hit those two sixes, we still get a tie. We still have a positive net run rate. We still get a tie, we get a point. And that means New Zealand has to win by a significant margin to overhaul us. Nothing else but a win would have sufficed for New Zealand. And a
Yes.
significant win. So, it's about common sense. It was 13 of 3 balls. You missed one. Fair enough. Give yourself the chance to hit 12 of 2.
Yeah,
Give
absolutely.
yourself that chance. You are the only person. Do you think Radha Yadav would have hit two sixes?
No.
Shriyanka Patil would have hit two sixes? Never in my lifetime, right? So why would you not give yourself that chance? Even if you got India 1 point, New Zealand tomorrow, India's net run rate now is plus 0.3. The net run rate would have become whatever it is plus 0.34, but India would be 1 point up. So
Yes.
New Zealand would be that much more difficult to get past Pakistan. Little more difficult. So why no common sense? That Richa single, you think going to cover, the ball had got straight to hand. You think that was a single there? Tell me something. The captain was out there. You mean to say the captain was not able to tell Deepti Sharma that you cannot just score singles and put the pressure back? Two boundaries Deepti Sharma got, remember, towards the
Yeah.
very end. If after that, after getting those two boundaries, Deepti Sharma's total was 29 of 25 balls. After those two boundaries, which she actually got in the last 4 balls. So what are we talking about? And this whole thing, India just lost by 9 runs. What do you mean just lost? It's a low scoring 150 contest. 9 runs is about 25 runs in a 200 contest.
Yeah.
9 is a lot of runs in a T20 close match. It's a lot of runs. It's one full over. More. More. Now think of your bowlers. Arundhati Reddy, 3 overs for 24. Radha Yadav, 2 overs for 14, picks up a wicket, doesn't get a third over. And out of the 2 overs, Radha Yadav considered a boundary in the second ball. After that, 11, 10 balls for 7 runs.
Hmm.
And doesn't get an over. Doesn't get an over. Gets the stumping in. And by the way, of the 7-8 runs, one was a dropped catch of Harman, and one
Yes.
was a skyer, which was a fall in no man's land. 2 more runs. So the bowler actually conceded 4 runs with slow left arm spin in a wicket that was gripping. You mean to tell me she doesn't deserve an over? Clearly, I was watching a different game. I was beating my head against the wall, saying, "Come on, what is happening? Get the bowler on, get the left arm spinner on." Sophie
Yeah.
Molineux, 2 wickets. Unfortunate, Ishan, that nothing changes. If you actually ask me, give the captaincy to Jemima Rodriguez. Give it to Jemima Rodriguez. Smriti Mandhana has been around for the longest time. I have no proof that Smriti Mandhana can win me a high pressure match. I haven't seen. I haven't seen this. Smriti Mandhana has been told that I am told that she's India's best batter for the longest time. She has never won me a high pressure match. Never. Australia matches, time and the dozen comes, we lose by 4 runs, 5 runs. T20 semi-final, 5 runs. Commonwealth, 9 runs. Today, 9 runs again. How many times will we lose these matches? And what are Smriti Mandhana's scores? Take them out. Ask Snehashish Mukherjee, who's your stat man. I'll tell you, Commonwealth Games final 6. South Africa semi-final 2, today 6. Smriti Mandhana, greatest batter. Why Smriti Mandhana? Why should it be Smriti Mandhana? Harmanpreet Kaur, absolutely dismal captaincy, and that is the truth. Go to Jemima Rodriguez. Invest in a new captain who will bring in fresh ideas. I am tired. Shafali Verma, good intent with the bat. Tell me, do you actually believe Shafali Verma and Richard Ghosh are fit enough? Did you see the number of times Richard Ghosh got up, conceded buys, missed stumpings, missed opportunities? Richard Ghosh's whole World Cup, she's 2021. Shafali Verma is 20 years old. Do you think Shafali Verma and Richard Ghosh are good enough in the field? You think they can't get fit enough? And if they can't get fit enough, do they deserve to be in a team like this? How come? In what way? Every time a World Cup happens, we say these things. 2017, the 9-run final defeat, Dipti Sharma, match was in our grasp. Same thing. Today also the same thing. 7 years have passed in the middle. Nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing. So where is the hope? We all live with optimism and hope, right? We all live with. So give me what is the hope? You want to continue with the Harmanpreet Kaur again? You will invest in a Smriti Mandhana, who we all know will again under-deliver in a high-pressure scenario. Why? Give it to a new person. Give it to a fresh blood. Tell me why is it that Amol Mazumdar could not get a Richa Ghosh and a Shafali Verma fit enough? Tell me why. Isn't there a fielding coach there? I am told Bharat Ramraj keeps reporting 135 minutes in the last 2 days. This 135 minutes should have happened in the last 1 month, not in the last 2 days in Dubai. What are you doing
Yeah.
135 minutes in Dubai? This is a World Cup, for God's sake. The men have won and the women did not even make the semi-finals. We have crashed out in the group stage unless Pakistan does a miracle tomorrow and beats New Zealand. That is the only hope now. Pakistan beating New Zealand. That is like me becoming the next, football captain of India or a cricket captain. It is that kind of a chance. So let us kiss the World Cup goodbye and really sort of introspect as to what has gone wrong, because the truth is everything that could go wrong has gone wrong.
Yeah. Trisha, yes. Time for some hard calls, Trisha.
I will get into hard calls
Yeah.
after this. This is what our captain says after we lose this match. I think their entire team contribute. They don't depend on one or two players. They have a lot of all-rounders who contribute. We also planned well and we were there in the game. They didn't give away easy runs and made it difficult. They are an experienced side. That is something that is not in your control. You have to always keep your playing 11 ready even when one or two player misses out. Radha bowled really well. She was in the game and she was fielding. You need a character like that in the team who is always there. It was a chaseable total. When me and Deepthi were batting, now listen to this. This is very interesting. When me and Deepthi were batting, we couldn't hit a few balls, a few loose balls. Whatever was in our hands, we were trying to do that, but that's something not in our control. I mean, you are the batter, you can't hit loose balls. How is that not in your control? I don't know. If we had an opportunity to play another game, it would have been great. Whoever plays well will qualify for the semis. The whole while, not one sentence on the mistakes made. Radha, Deepthi, if you are saying, Boryada, if she is saying that Radha bowled well, why didn't you bowl Radha out?
Yeah. These are
You
these
are saying,
just excuses after the game's already done,
and it's
basically.
always there.
One second, one
Today it's
second,
always there.
one second.
Yes, sir.
Excuses are also, excuses need to be properly given.
Yeah.
There is logic to an excuse.
Believable excuse.
Asha Shobna not there is an excuse. I can buy that. That we missed Asha Shobna because she got injured. You mean to say Radha Yadav bowling well, but I did not give her bowling is an excuse? What kind of an excuse is this? I could not hit some balls. Then clearly you're not good enough. Australia was good enough to hit those balls. Is this an excuse? And how many times have we heard this, Isha? That's my question, right?
many.
I mean, how many times have we heard this? Every time we keep hearing that, one more game, some more balls, couple of overs, one bad game. By the way, we've had 3 bad games out of 4.
Exactly.
New Zealand was a
Exactly.
pathetic game. Pakistan was an equally pathetic game. Australia is another pathetic game. So the truth of the matter is, out of 4 games which we have played against a Sri Lanka who my daughter can beat, Three out of four games are pathetic games. That's the truth. So face it. You've played four games, three out of the four are below par. You mean to say you deserve to be in a cup and deserve to get everything and deserve to win a World Cup? I'm sorry you don't. I think it's a fair result. I think India needed to be
Yeah.
sort of kicked out of the World Cup. I think this is a wake up call for everyone. I think the BCCI needs to also see the writing on the wall and make wholesale changes. I think these players have all outlived their usefulness and their past date. You don't win an Asia Cup, Ishan. You don't win an Asia Cup. You lose in the qualifying stages of the World Cup. You are trying to tell me you're good enough? I'm sorry, you're not. You are not good enough. Face the writing on the wall. You are not good enough. You are a disgraceful side.
To be honest, Ishan, Asia Cup was one tournament, Boryada, which we used to win like this. We lost Asia Cup twice, both under Harman's captaincy. It's time. We need a change in captaincy. This cannot go
Yeah.
on. This is utter rubbish. We need a change in captaincy and we need a change in team. Come on,
And it
man.
has to happen now. It can't happen once again we lose an important match and
Exactly.
once again we come back to a discussion like this, because it seems like it's a recurring, event. We keep talking about the same thing, but no action seems to be taking place,
From one
especially
World
around the
Cup to another
captaincy.
Cup to another World Cup. It's always the same thing. We were there, but the other party was good. No, you were not there. You weren't there. Because if you were there in our SWOT analysis, we wouldn't have discussed that India doesn't look like a team that will qualify. It never looked like a team that will qualify, and this was the reason. You cannot say Smriti is apparently the best batter, right, Boryada? Can you say that if your life is in danger, you will let Smriti bat for your life? Can anybody of you say that?
No.
Then how is she the best batter in your team? Your captain stays till the end, and she takes a single and gives it to Sriyanka. You hit two sixes, we lose by 1 run. And even Sriyanka, what was Sriyanka doing? She didn't even know her leg is there outside the crease. Yes, I know some of the people, and you know what is the problem? The problem is a lot of Indian cricket fans will still say, "Well tried, Harman. We tried." No, you did not try. I'm sorry, you did not.
I think everyone is trying to make it seem that at least we gave our best effort, so it doesn't seem so bad. But
Absolutely.
that's not good enough. The best effort would have been competing with the semifinals, reaching the finals, and then going on to win over there. That's the best effort that the team has to
I
give.
want to ask
Yeah.
Snehashish a question because Snehashish is there on the ground.
Hmm.
You tell us the difference in the body language of the Indian team and the Australian team.
I think obviously in the fielding, as I mentioned, that if you see the difference in fielding of both the teams, it was clearly evident when you were seeing the Australian fielders and the Indian fielders. As I mentioned in the our WhatsApp chat also, that the Australian fielders, the way they were throwing their bodies, it was like they were not defending 150 runs, they were defending 100 runs. The way they are putting their the efforts and all everything. See, whenever a ball goes to the air, every Australian fielder will charge for the ball and try for that catch. But when the same thing happened with while India fielded, Indian fielders should wait the ball should come to them. They will not charge for the ball. I think that is the change. That is the difference. That is the difference in mindset. That is the difference in intensity that we have been talking about for a long time now in fielding. And obviously from catching perspective, it might be that they might be very much effective they are taking, but ground fielding very sloppy everything, and small things like being confident also. It's like when Shafari Verma started that innings with so many delightful shots and in an aggressive manner. I think in that position, if India would have been there, I think India would have lost their mindset. They will be very clueless. Oh, what will do now? And but Australia looked very calm. They were not like, okay, we have conceded 21, 24 runs in 3 overs. Doesn't matter. We'll come back and let's and see. By the end of the next 3 overs, they took 3 wickets of loss. And you added only 16 or 17 runs in the last 3 overs, but and also lost those 3 wickets. So I think in small patches you looked very different from your opponent, and your opponent had that mindset, and that is why they are 3 times in a row champions, and that was evident in their playing style.
Absolutely, bang on,
Boryada, I have
Smriti.
a question for you. So when you okay? You calm? So my question is, just before just before Indian team came, when India team was doing the press conference before coming to Dubai, Amol Mazumdar said that we have decided on number 3. But every time an Indian opener gets out in the power play, they send in Jemima Rodriguez. The one match where the Indian opener got out in the 12.4 over, you send in Harmanpreet Kaur. And then she gets a 52 of 27. And you saw what a brilliant batter, what a fantastic batting. I mean, what was your plan? What do you think was the plan? What
So
do
the
you think?
first thing is against Sri Lanka, everyone got runs. So let us not oversell the Sri Lanka match. The Sri Lanka match, Sri Lanka is one team in this World Cup that has lost also to Pakistan. Any team that loses to Pakistan would have lost to Bengal. That's the truth. So we have played 4 matches in this World Cup so far. Against New Zealand, we lost by 58 runs. We were not even par. We were below par. We were pathetic, poor, bad, horrible, worst. Against Pakistan, 106 to chase down. We chased it in the 19th over. Then we said we were not able to do it, this, that, whatnot. We had the NRR in mind and all that. So the bottom line is we were poor again. Against Australia, we were poor again. We don't win the Asia Cup. We play 4 matches of the World Cup, 3 of which we are below par. We lose 2 of them. We win 1 against Pakistan in the last over. You mean to say we are a contender? In what way? Let us do a SWOT of the performances of everybody. Smriti Mandhana, disaster is the word. Disaster. That is the word for Smriti Mandhana. Chapali Verma, a big game, 20 and out, and it was coming. 2 shots and one could sense coming, overcharged completely. Par, at least got some runs in the other match. Jemima Rodriguez, start, no conversion. Richa Ghosh, disaster of a World Cup. Deepti Sharma, pretty poor of a World Cup. Today also, Deepti Sharma knows 3 shots. One dab, one slog sweep, and one over this thing. Not one single shot in the offside. Not one. Not one. You put 5 fielders there, your boundaries are blocked. Harmanpreet Kaur, kept it late. The musical chair continued. Number 3, number 4, number 3, number 4, number 3, number 4. And when I rate Harmanpreet Kaur, I will not rate Harmanpreet Kaur the batter. I will rate Harmanpreet Kaur the skipper. As a skipper, it was the most ordinary kind of captaincy that I at least have seen. Now comes the bowlers. On a wicket which was 130, you have considered 152 runs. Arundhati Reddy 24 of 3 overs. Pooja Vastrakar multiple times going for boundaries. Ellis Perry taking them to the cleaners. What are we talking about here? Amol Mazumdar, coaching staff. Where is it? Where
Yeah.
is the fielding coach? What is the contribution of the fielding coach? Do we have a mental conditioning trainer? What is the difference between the Asia Cup and now? I honestly don't know. I don't know. And for
And
me,
they were, yeah.
it is about accountability. Who takes accountability for this? Harmanpreet does, Smriti does, team does, coach does, who does? Or will we say Harmanpreet got a 50? We are a gallant loser. We love being gallant losers. We love that tag. We fought and we lost. The truth is, in sport, there are 2 things. One is a winner and one is a loser. There is no gallant loser.
Because so many comments here, all of them are echoing the same thought. Poor fielding, Smriti Mandhana never performs in big matches. Trisha, we talk about change. When is it going to come now, finally? What do you think the action should be? If you're going to make tough calls, who do you think has to be dropped? And do you genuinely believe Jemmy should be the captain?
Absolutely. I think Jemima should. It's time to give Jemima the leadership. Absolutely. And as far as this fielding and all this is concerned, I don't even want to talk about it. We are talking about this every day. Just doesn't help. We are doing something
Yeah.
wrong. Ishaq, from World Cup to World Cup. It's the same old story. Not 1 inch of improvement. You cannot say
We've
anything has
been the
changed.
same. We've been the same since a while.
Absolutely.
And that's the most disappointing
Absolutely.
part of the whole thing.
And I'm telling you again, get coaches who probably understand women's cricket better. Get coaches who
But
will concentrate on not being soft, on not being, in fact, somebody had said that Amol Majumdar in the camp probably, wasn't I mean, sources have said that wasn't probably being extremely what do you call that? It was not World Cup ready. You know, they were
I'll stop Trisha once. The truth is, Gargi's also joined. The truth is, Megan should bowled 14 dot balls in a 4 over spell. She bowled 2 in the power play. You
yeah.
want to explode in the power play. Think. There were 31 dot balls conceded by India. 31 dot
Hmm.
balls. When you are chasing 155 overs. 5 overs of dot balls in a 120 ball chase. One fourth dot balls, Ishan Chane. One fourth. You want to win? You want to win strategy? At the end of 10 overs, there's a break. What was Amol Mazumdar trying to do? You are in the dugout, you send a water break, you send instructions, you tell people, you tell something, the captain's out there, something has to give.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
keep giving excuses, boss. Something has to give.
We got Gagi with us as well. Gagi, thank you for joining. Obviously, a disappointing show here. We've discussed this in great detail already. A lot of factors. We're suggesting a change in captaincy maybe in the future. Uh, and obviously, a lack of application. We've seen a lot of this in this game. We've seen a lot of this in the past as well. Smriti Mandhana doesn't perform in big matches. The spinners could have done a better job. Smarter captaincy in a rotation of bowlers as well. What are your thoughts, Gagi? Obviously, we all are disappointed here, but where do we start? That's the first question I asked Boryata as well, because there's so many problems actually. It's going to be hard to actually break each one down. But if you had to tell us your immediate thought at the moment, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to introspect right now because a lot of things have gone wrong, and I think when you look at this entire World Cup campaign, only one game is where you can say that things went right. Other than that, everything that could possibly go wrong did go wrong. And I think at this point, looking back on the past 3-4 years, the biggest change that needs to be done right now is a captaincy change. May, I think Smriti Mandana is next in line, and she's doing very well. She's batting
Why?
consistently.
Why Smriti? Sorry, Gargi. I mean, not an attack at you, but why Smriti?
Yeah, yeah. Because I think
Because she is not going to give you. But Smriti is not giving you runs either. I mean, it's okay. Her smile is not going to just charm over. No, it is not going to help. Smriti is not doing well. In important clashes, if my top batter is not doing well, what will I do with that batter? Boriana, correct me if I'm wrong. And Gagi, I'm repeating. I'm just shouting from frustration. Not.
have a problem. Because if Smriti going forward, I think when you look at leadership qualities, I think the next best in line is Smriti Mandana. But what happens when she stops performing with the bat? Then you've got a big problem. Because where do you look then? Who do you look to?
You see, Gargi, the fact is, when who do you look to? You look to an MS Dhoni in 2007. That's how you look. You look to an MS Dhoni. There were other people in that side. There was a VVS Lakshman. There was an Anil Kumble. There was a Sachin Tendulkar. India looked to MS Dhoni. The rest is history. You need inspiration somewhere, somehow, somewhere. Smriti Mandhana, the last 6 key matches that India has played, Commonwealth Games final, T20 World Cup semi-final, this particular match against Australia, and one can keep telling you the games. Not one match has she won for India, not one, and that is the truth.
Hmm.
She can be the best batter in the world who doesn't deliver in key games. She delivers in bilateral series. Unfortunately, that's the truth. Now, how do you go to Smriti Mandhana in what way? Then Harmanpreet Kaur, why are you replacing Harmanpreet Kaur with somebody who has underperformed the whole World Cup? Go to Jemima Rodriguez. Go to somebody who's fresh. Give me something. Because after this, you don't win an Asia Cup, Gargi. You don't win a World Cup. You don't qualify for the semi-finals. You are dependent on Pakistan to create a miracle for you to advance to the semi-finals tomorrow by winning against New Zealand, which is not going to happen. Now, how do you justify this? Now you will say Smriti Mandhana and so on. So no, why? Why Smriti Mandhana? In what way? Go to somebody who will bring in Amol Mazumdar. Make somebody accountable. When Amol Mazumdar was appointed, everybody thought, here comes Aladdin with his magic lamp. What is the performance under Amol Mazumdar? Asia Cup defeat, World Cup defeat, not even making the semi-finals. Compare it with the men, and the contrast is stark. You know, you the point is we have to ask the hard questions. Once again, come WPL, we will say Smriti Mandhana and RCB, Harmanpreet Kaur and Mumbai Indians. Who cares? Who cares for this franchise tournament? Who cares in the eventuality who wins a franchise tournament? The fact is, nobody cares. Ultimately, whether a Mumbai wins or an RCB wins, how does it even matter? The point is the national team doesn't win. And that is the harsh reality of our times. And we've got to face the bullet head on.
Hmm. There's this question here as well. These girls are center and franchise contracts in 20s, still cannot do basic physical training. Feel pity on women Olympians who struggle for single sponsors. Would that and Trisha, would you like to take this one?
I honestly am not. I don't know what to say because he's
Hmm.
correct. Siddharth is correct. Because the first thing, in
See,
the office
hello,
cricket,
hello, listen. Don't grudge these people money. Because
no, no,
Paralympics has
this is
less
not
money
true.
or Olympics like this question. Feel pity for women Olympians. Don't feel pity for anyone. Go get the money to them. Don't feel pity because these people are earning money. It is very good that they are earning money. Because there will be more Gargis, more Trishas, more X, more Y who will go and play the game. I don't grudge them a single penny that they are earning. In fact, I want them to earn more. But because, and money has no relationship with performance. Zero relationship.
No, I think
Zero.
he spoke about infrastructure, bro. Yeah, I know the last comment was sponsors, but he also meant if there is franchisee, if there are physical trainers, that's the infrastructure, not the money. Forget about the money
Yeah,
part
I
because
mean,
that makes no sense.
the fact is, I feel pity for Olympics and Paralympics for what? Go get it done. Nobody has stopped the Indian Olympic Association or the Paralympic Committee to get funds. Go get it. Cricket has got it. That's why these people have the infrastructure. It has nothing to do with this. The point is, hit the nail on the head. And the truth is, the women are underperforming and time and again. You've got to solve that problem. How do you do that? Not by saying that we are a gallant loser. Oh, we fought hard. Fighting hard doesn't qualify anymore.
Yep. We'll just have a look at some more questions if there are. Yeah, it's around the same facts. Poor fielding, captain has to be replaced. Smriti Mandana doesn't perform in big matches. Let me ask you this, Snehashish and Trisha. If you want to make replacements, what are the couple of replacements you're thinking right now? Snehashish, any thoughts on who you would like to see in this side who's possibly not playing at the moment?
I think the captaincy change that we have already discussed, I think that is bound to happen. Let's see when and how that is going to happen. I think obviously Shruti Mandana is a contender, but as rightfully Tushadi and Boreas has said that you have to, the captain has to be your one of the best performer also in the team, whether she is a batter or she is a bowler. So I think from that perspective, I think Shruti Mandana is not fitting currently. Jemima Rodriguez can be. I know that it has not been a great tournament for her also, but at least she has shown that intensity better than others in every innings. I will say even today also I think she was trying hard. You see the that innings of Shruti Mandana today. There was no intensity, nothing intent to hit the ball. It was like only going for the stroke play, like one and two. So it was very. I was very shocked. I have to say that to see that intensity from Shruti Mandana. So that is one thing, and the example that is see in men's team also there was Hardik Pandya, but the captaincy is now under Surya Kumar Jadhav, and the team is doing really well. So I think from men's team also, I think you can take inspire and changes maybe in the bowling lineup also. Maybe we know bowlers like Tita Shadu is there, Shaika Isak is there, and I think Trishadi will say about Shaika Isak mainly the that incident Trishadi that you mentioned several times earlier also with Harmanpreet Kaur, giving only one or two games to her and suddenly she is out of the picture currently. So I think overall, I think a lot of changes can happen, but mainly the captaincy. I think it's high time to to sit back and think about this whole campaign and take some hard calls.
You're right. I think a lot of the changes of captain coming in, fresh ideas, a new sort of momentum can be seen if a new captain comes in. I think that's what we all can expect. Trisha, we'll just take this question as well. Pooja Vastakar focusing more on our batting can be a solution here.
Pooja Vastrakar focusing more on her fitness will be the best solution.
Okay, that's the answer then.
Pooja Vastrakar has been
Um,
fitness since 2018. This is 2024.
yeah.
I mean, there has to be an end to the injuries also, because otherwise Pooja isn't bowling. And honestly, Boryada, if Pooja isn't bowling, she's not a good batter, right?
So,
You.
Ishan, when you see a player who has been around for 5 6 years and has missed half the matches, there is something there. There is something there. And today, if anything, I would have actually loved to see one less over from Arundhati Reddy and one less over from Pooja Vastrakar and two more overs to Radha Yadav.
Hmm.
In our work group, I was continuously shouting. Anybody can understand. Left arm spin, ball was gripping. Ball was gripping right-handers there. Elise Perry was batting, multiple right-handers batting. Unfortunately, after picking up the one wicket, she was not bowled till the 18th over. In that 18th over, she considered 4 runs. In the first over, she had considered 9. In the 18th over, she considered, sorry, in the 16th or whatever, 18th, she considered 5. She did not get another over. Explain that to me, no? Explain that to me. It's
Yeah.
disappointing me completely. I don't know. Gargi, you've played the sport. Deepti Sharma and full toss balls. What is the story there? Why can't you hit full toss balls? I mean, one shot to hit and that is a dab towards mid wicket or square leg.
Yeah, I think point to what we were discussing earlier.
I think there's a network issue, Gagi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was saying that I also want to go back
No, Gagi. I think there's a network issue.
We're not getting her audio. It's because she's in
Yeah.
transit. So it's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll anyway do tomorrow. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, let's do a show with her tomorrow, because she
Yeah.
had some family thing she had to go. Yeah,
I think
but sorry, what was the question?
Boryada. Was there a question for Trisha?
Yeah, I mean, Trisha can also answer that. Trisha, I mean, she's not a rookie anymore. When will Deepti Sharma sort of step up? When?
Never.
When?
Oh, the disappointment is
Actually,
real. Yeah.
She
but
Deepti
you
Sharma
have to understand.
Deepti Sharma Deepti Sharma step up for the franchise in the 100.
No, Snehashish, no. I'll tell you something. England and Australia are batting wickets. The bounce is good. You get if you hit so whenever in WBBL Smriti scores and people go crazy, Australia Australian pitches are good for batting, and the bounce is true. Did you see, the other thing, which there are small things, we can get into technicalities, but the truth is, if you see the way the Australian batters were, they were bending and they were waiting for the ball to come,
Yeah.
because the pitch was keeping low, the pitch was slow.
They
What did we
understood the
learn
wicket
from them?
much better comparatively.
What did we learn from them? Nothing. We were still trying to hit
One,
from,
one more, one more point that I need to make to you, Ishan, Trisha, and Snehashish, and that is, in the WPL, don't reduce the size of the boundaries to 48 meters. You are kidding yourself. You are creating a false sense of complacency and breeding a false sense of complacency for people like Dipti Sharma, who will never be able to clear a boundary. The moment it becomes a 60-meter boundary, it will never reach the boundary. You bring it to 48 meters, you bring it to 52 meters, Dipti Sharma will clear a boundary. You are creating a false sense. Don't do that. Don't do
Yeah.
that. For the sake of Indian cricket, don't do that.
Yes.
Because, when we are doing franchise cricket and we are like, oh, wow, it doesn't happen, boss. It doesn't happen. Ultimately, it's the national. You know why T20 cricket took off in India? Why IPL became IPL? Yes, all credit to Lalit Modi and all that. But Mr. Modi also will know it is because of the success of the 2007 T20 World Cup. Had Mahendra Singh Dhoni not won that 2007 T20 World Cup, no IPL would have become the IPL that we know it now. No Lalit Modi would have
Absolutely.
been able to deliver. Truth. The fact of the matter is, today the IPL is because of that success. 2011 World Cup. Look at the T20 World Cup of this year. It is about success. Unless and until the women's team gets success, it won't happen. Neeraj Chopra has given a javelin revolution. Manu Bhaker will now create a shooting revolution. Paralympics, you will be in the top 10 because you have 29 medals. Success has many fathers. Defeat has none. And
Absolutely.
come the WPL, we will make smaller boundaries, we will do this, we will do that cushion, we will do whatever. It won't work. It unfortunately won't work. We'll get caught out. The truth is, Ishan, we will go to bed tonight thinking we are not the best in Asia. We lose to Sri Lanka. We are not even the top 4 in the world. We are not even the top 4 in the world. And it's a shock to digest.
Yeah.
Yes, let us hope for a miracle, because sport has given us miracles. Something might happen tomorrow and Pakistan beats New Zealand, and all of us will do a different show celebrating, I don't know who, Nidadar maybe. Maybe Nidadar and Sadia Iqbal and I don't know who.
Maybe.
I mean, I can't even think who will score those runs. Alia Riaz, possibly. Fatima Sana Khan is back home. And if Pakistan wins by 53 runs, they qualify.
Sana is back. Sana is back to Dubai.
So
She's come back.
Sana Khan, maybe she'll do it for her father and win it for India. Who knows?
Absolutely.
If Pakistan wins by 53 runs, they qualify. So let us hope for a miracle. In sport, miracles happen.
Yep. Let us hope for that.
Play for India. I can be the next prime minister. Isha can be the whatever. All these things can happen. No, theoretically, India can also make the semi-final.
I will be there. I will be there in the next Karan Johar movie. That's
Exactly.
That's
Trisha in the Karan Johar movie. I will be in politics, maybe contending for a ministerial berth. Ishan will sort of leave Rev Sports and get into Bollywood. Snehashish will whatever. I mean, every fantasy can come true, but India's qualifying for the semi-final won't come true, Ishan. That's the grim reality.
Yep, absolutely. On that note, I think we have covered the whole discussion. We've answered all the questions, but it's almost the same. Moriada, thank you for joining. Sneshish, thank you. Trisha, thank you. It's been a tough pill to swallow, a disappointing loss here, but all we can do is hope that this team makes those changes, a change of captaincy, get some new players in as well, if that will change the whole momentum, and hope for the best, because obviously all of us are disappointed. I'm sure fans in Dubai will be disappointed as well. Fans in India, no?
Don't hope for the best. What hope for the
Hope
best?
for the best. Okay.
If this
But
team
you
goes to
have
the
to have
semi,
some sort of optimism as
Ishan,
well.
one important thing.
Yeah.
For God's sake, let not Pakistan beat New Zealand, because this is every failure is ultimately an opportunity. If somehow Pakistan beats New Zealand, I don't know how, all of a sudden all these problems will be swept under the cover. Trust me.
Yeah.
And we will qualify by the back door. We will say everything is hunky dory, everything is good with this team, which is not the case. That's the truth.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Borada. Thank you all for joining. 181 of you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We'll talk about this in greater detail tomorrow as well. So stay tuned to Red Sports, and continue to show your support to us. Sneershish and Bharat will still be in Dubai, so we'll be getting exclusive content on your way. And it's disappointing, but yes, Trisha.
I have one last question, Snehashish.
Yeah.
Who do you think has come for the press conference? Harmanpreet Kaur?
No, 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 no. Never.
Never.
What I meant was the lack of accountability. That's
Yeah.
it.
Which is not a good sign of a good leader, though, Trisha. Definitely not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All
let's
right.
end the show. We'll come back.
Yeah, I think we can go on and on, but we'll have to end it now. Thank you all for joining. We'll see you all again tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Snehashish